Welcome back to Fox 9 Good Day.
Welcome back here as October comes to a close. Maybe you've noticed some purple ribbons at businesses around town.
Yeah, this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Minnesota. One-third of women and a quarter of men say they've experienced domestic violence in their lifetime. If you or someone you know is in this situation, there's help out there. This morning we are joined by Rachel Kennedy. She is one of the founders of Gathering Hope MN. She also serves as a family mediator. Here to talk about this important topic. Good morning.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome into the studio. Let's start just first from your experience. Give us a little bit about who you guys are, Gathering Hope.
Yeah, so we're local. We're just all a bunch of moms who were kind of originally just helping other women and children who were escaping domestic violence, and then we decided to start the formal nonprofit, but we help out with practical, logistical, gas cards, grocery cards, diapers, clothing drives, those types of things.
Because you can't fix the big part until you fix some of the day-to-day.
Exactly. You can't escape and like find new housing if you don't have enough diapers for your baby.
Sure.
Right. It's that type of stuff. Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the misconceptions. You've been in this field for a while. Some of the misconceptions that people have when it comes to domestic violence.
Yeah, I think the biggest one is that it's only physical. Like, well, did you break any bones? Did you get any black eyes? Then if not, you're fine. There's a whole power and control wheel, if you guys are familiar with that. It talks about financial and emotional and sexual and all the different types of abuse. It's really a pattern of power and control more than just physical aggression. And then I think the other big misconception is that it's always men against women. Statistically, it is often that, but it can also be women against men. It also happens in homosexual and other types of relationships. Again, it's not one specific thing. It's just those dynamics of power and control.
Sure, and that's some of what your outreach is about too, right? Is helping people maybe identify if they're in an unhealthy relationship.
Very often people don't know they are until somebody points it out, or they read a book, or they listen to a podcast, or they see the power and control wheel, and they're like, oh shoot, I recognize a lot of my relationship in that. I had no idea.
Sure.
Because if you live in it every day, a lot of times you think it's normal.
So with that, you know, obviously it's far easier from someone on the outside to see it and say this is not normal. This isn't what it's supposed to be like. If you are one of those people who you have someone in your life where you're looking at this and saying this is not good, what should you do? And on the flip side, if you're in it and realizing it, what should you do? Because that's probably different depending on the case.
Very, yeah. Yeah, I'll start with if you're the loved one of somebody. Certainly you can figure out resources on your own because the victim may just be too overwhelmed, so you may want to look into books, local organizations, whatever to offer if she's ready or he. But a really big thing is autonomy. Like that's it. The victim has to be ready to accept that information. They have to be ready to accept help. If they're not, all you really can do is say, well, I'm here. If you change your mind, I'm happy to help you. And then if you're in it, I think trying to figure out who those safe people are, like the hotline.org, they're a great organization. They can help with safety plans. They can help identify the local organizations. You just give them your zip code and they'll tell you, you know, this is this tiny little place in Minnetonka or in, you know, wherever that can help you out. So those are just a few quick things. Yeah.
You talk about the resources that are out there, and that there may be more than people realize. Have misconceptions maybe changed, or societal attitudes changed about abusive relationships?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, honestly, in fact, I just saw yesterday it was the 50th anniversary of when women could like have credit cards and bank accounts and things. I mean, if we go that far back, the men ruled the world and the women just kind of took it, or you know, or like didn't have any options. So from way back then, but even now, I think it's with the amount of media out there, people can find support on, for example, Facebook groups where you can kind of talk and recommend books to each other. There are podcasts. There are just so many different options, different ways to find that information that didn't exist before, or it was just you had to go check out the right book from the library to get that information. And now you can kind of find that stuff a lot more easily, I think.
And Rachel, I know you talked about obviously there's the big picture, but you guys kind of do the day-to-day, the daily grind things, the gas cards, the grocery bill, if you are having to quote unquote restart, the things that, to your point, you can't just pack up and leave and call it good. That there are reasons why people tend to stay, even if they know they shouldn't. So how do you guys do that? How do you come up with, is it funding? Is it, volunteers?
Yeah, all of the above. It's tricky. It's really tricky. It seems like a lot of people care about what we're doing and they're like, oh yeah, that's important. But then it's okay, we need volunteers, we need funding, we need these different things to be able to make this happen. And so it's a lot of fundraising, it's a lot of even this type of stuff, kind of getting out there, letting people know that the organization exists, just trying to bring awareness to the issue. I mean, because we're in the Twin Cities, and the nonprofit, I would say almost always, I'm not intricately involved in the organization anymore. But when I was, they had a wait list all the time, like always. And so it's like you look around and it's going on here.
Yeah.
And
there's a problem for sure, and there's a need.
And there's resources out there,
Yeah.
Really quick, the website that people can find you guys at for more information.
GatheringHopeMN.org.